Is The Hangover the funniest movie ever? That's my question for today's episode of Binge Watch. I'm your host Bhaarat, and in this show of ours, we talk about iconic TV shows or movie series that you can either binge watch or have binge watched. And this is a particular movie that I've really binge watched a lot, like many others. It's called The Hangover, directed by Todd Philips, that released in the year 2009. Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galfianakis, Mike Tyson punching in somewhere. So excited to talk about this. Let's go. Okay, so before we get into the scheme of things, I just want to share that when I watched The Hangover for the first time, I couldn't get it out of my mind. It is probably one of the most funniest movies to ever exist. No matter how many times you watch it, it's so rewatchable, and I think that's what classifies this for a binge watch classic in my honest opinion. I really love watching The Hangover every time. Actually, other movies of Todd Phillips as well. Who would believe that the man who made Old School, The Hangover, the whole trilogy of The Hangover, of course, The Hangover Part 2, The Hangover Part 3, Due Date somewhere in between, War Dogs as well, what a funny movie, would go on to direct this Oscar-winning movie which is called Joker, Folie à Deux. I am so happy to talk about this movie. So before we get into the scheme of things, let's talk about the plot of The Hangover. Just 2 days before his marriage with Tracy Garner, Doug Billings, in the company of two friends, Phil Wennick and Stu Price, and Tracy's eccentric brother Alan, head out to party in Vegas. Driving his father's Mercedes, they rent a pricey villa at Caesars and head for the rooftop to have a good time. Three of them later wake up with a hangover, unable to recollect what exactly happened. With the villa in a wreck, they find that they have a baby in the closet, a grown tiger in the bathroom, Stu has a missing tooth, and a hooker for a bride. And Doug is missing. Hilarious chaos results as the trio head out to retrace their steps, as well as try to locate Doug and bring him home in one piece before the wedding. That's what I really love about this movie. Firstly, the casting of this movie. You have the hilarious Zach Galifianakis playing Alan. You of course have Jeong playing the role of Chow. And you have Mike Tyson. There's a cameo by Mike Tyson in this movie as well. It's so funny, he's playing himself in the movie. And of course Ed Helms as Stu is hilarious. And who cannot love Bradley Cooper? I think he really adds up to the madness. And I really love the banter between Bradley Cooper and Zach Galifianakis' character, which is Phil and Alan. And I think it's just too good, and I think that's what sustains for the 3 parts of the Hangover trilogy. It's so good, I absolutely love it. I never get tired of this. Before I talk about what I particularly love about the Hangover, let's get to my favorite part of the show, which is called My Favorite. Okay, so my favorite characters of the Hangover has to be Alan. I love, actually it's the whole gang. You love Zach Galifianakis as Alan, you love Bradley Cooper as Phil, you love Jeong as Chow, you love Ed Helms as Stu, and I think it's a complete package. Even Justin Bartha as Doug is really good, even though he's not in the movie for a very long time, but he's also really good as his character. Moving to my favorite scenes of The Hangover, my first favorite scene has to be the wake up scene after they have the roofies and wake up in the hotel room, the suite of Caesars, and you have the tiger in, you have a Mike Tyson tattoo on Stu's face, and it's just too funny. You have the baby there. My second favorite scene is when they go to the police station and they get humiliated in front of the kids. It's just too funny. I really wish that never happens with anyone. My third favorite scene is actually the casino scene where Alan saves the day for them, and they're walking down that escalator and Alan is completely focused and has read that casino book and all the numbers floating in front of him, and he makes them win and they win all the money. And my fourth favorite scene is when Ed Helms is singing and playing that song for Doug. Actually, that scene was improvised, if I'm not to be mistaken, and he's playing it on the piano, and he's saying, then we're going to meet our best friend Doug and we're going to give him a best friend hug. I think it's just too funny. And yeah, I also love the scene where they finally find Doug and then they're heading to the wedding, and then they change up on the way. They get down, they stop at the highway, and then they change up their clothes and they finally get to the wedding. So all in all, I really love. And also, how can we forget Mike Tyson's cameo, the scene where they go to Mike Tyson's house and then they play the footage of how they were messing around with Mike Tyson's house and they steal the tiger. I think all of this makes up for this classic comedy that The Hangover is. So these are my favorite scenes, but in Binge Watch, as tradition follows, this was my favorite. It's time for your favorite, and we have our celebrity intervention. We have a celebrity intervention. We have someone in our office, in our studios today, that we're going to be asking what is it that they are binge watching. So without further ado, cue that. Okay, mid-episode of Binge Watch, and today we've got Aarya in the studio. Aarya is a wonderful musician. He's released his new track, which is called The One, that you can go and check out. Wonderful song on all audio streaming platforms as well.
Bro, what is it that you're binge watching at this point of time in terms of TV shows and movie series?
I have actually been binge watching like Daredevil, Marvel Daredevil.
Yes.
I've never seen it, and many people have recommended it to me. So yeah, I kind of like, okay, fine, let's ride the wave.
Correct.
And I was like, I have this thing against gruesomeness.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I can watch The Boys, and I love The Boys.
Yeah.
I can watch Daredevil. So I was like, cool. Let's yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole Marvel reboot of that coming.
Yeah.
You of course have John Berthal and Charlie Cox again.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that?
I think Daredevil Born Again or something.
Daredevil
Born Again.
Yeah. In terms of movies, what is it that you watched recently that really resonated?
I love Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, I've been a big Wolverine fan all my life.
Yeah.
Deadpool is just like a very different kind of superhero, more of an anti-hero as such.
Yeah.
But I love Deadpool as well.
Yeah.
So it was just a perfect combination of both.
And two people who can't kill each other.
Yeah.
Important. Yeah. Anything in the Hindi movie sphere that you really like?
Hindi movies. I've wanted to watch the IC814 show.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah. The Kandahar one. Because I think that it's very, very intense, and my parents really liked it, so they recommended it.
Well, that's Aarya. Please go and check out his wonderful track. It's called The One. It's streaming on all audio streaming platforms. Do you have a music video to it?
No, there's no music video to it, but in case someone wants to make a music video to it, just go ahead and do it. Make a video and send it across your anime version of it. Yeah, go for it.
Yes, well, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to all the wonderful work you've put out, and thank you for your recommendation.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of Binge Watch, The Hangover. I absolutely love this movie. Would love to know from you what is your favorite scene from The Hangover. You can comment down in the comment section and let us know what's your favorite character, what are your favorite moments, what are your favorite scenes from The Hangover, and what is it that you'd want for us to cover. If you want us to cover the remaining Hangover trilogy, we can do that as well. And we'll see you in the next episode. My name is Bhaarat. This is Binge Watch. And big shout out to Dio Man, our producer of the show, who shoots and edits Binge Watch with so much of passion and precision. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, please do subscribe to Radio 1 International. Share this video with your friends who love The Hangover, and also comment down just like I asked you to. I'll see you in the next episode. My name is Bhaarat. Until then, keep binge watching.
94.3 Radio 1.